What's going on, guys? High Mountain Trader here. I know it's been a while. I just wanted to make a quick video here and show you how you can identify hidden channels and find areas to risk off where you have a very tight risk with a nice reward. And you can use this technique on any stock really. Here I'm using it on the NASDAQ futures, but it really works with anything. And so we were trading kind of choppy today, and I identified this potential channel here where we could put some risk off here. We drew a line here, and we're just going to kind of show you how the trade played out, live. Um, but yeah, we just kind of identified this channel here and thought that this would be a good place for an entry for a rejection off of, and that's what we're always looking for, those really good entries where we can keep our risk tight. And this trade took a little bit while to unfold, but we'll just see how it plays out here. What I'm looking for is just a push up into this line so that I can get short. Generally after the third test of a line, I won't take a trade against it. That's when I'll flip the other way and look for the breakout of that channel or that potential flag or whatever it is. This being the third test of it, I like the short here. And so we got short right there. Wish I would have got a little bit better of an entry up here, just a couple ticks higher, but that's okay. My risk is above this pivot here. And so we're just going to kind of let this play out here. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. And this entry looks a little bit scary. We're pushing up, and I'm shorting on a green candle that's pushing up towards the highs. But I've identified a channel. I gave myself a line to risk off of, and that's all I'm looking to do. That's all we can ever really look to do in the market, is to try to find a line or an area to risk off that makes sense to us. And for me, and I think for most people, those scary entries are going to be the best entries. Instead of shorting down here thinking that we're going to break back, this is the red to green line, break back red on the day. Sorry guys, it's been a long day, early morning. This is a bad short here. This is a long. You buy off support, you short off resistance. And so we just kind of identified that channel there. It just chops around a little bit on us, giving it a little bit of room. When I draw this line, it's not exact, it's an area, so you have to be willing to let it play out. So just fast forwarding along here. You can see at this point, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get a push back to this area. I'm looking for about 10 points on this trade. And as this is pulling down and I'm looking for my 10 points, you can see I'm up 7 points right now. I'm also looking for a potential channel off the bottom here, where we can catch this going the other way if it wants to start forming more of a flag than just a trend line, or and so we're just about at 10 points here. And we took that off right there. No, not quite yet. So we took it off there for about 10 or 11 points, and that was a pretty good trade there. And so what I did here, after taking this trade, I wanted to see, where could this go down to where we could get a bounce up. And I kind of identified this channel here. See, we hit off it twice. We did break through it here. And this was my first trade of the day here. I didn't catch that recorded, but this area right here was that, the night session low. And we pulled right into it, and I just took a scalp off of it. I would love to tell you guys that I took the trade here on this line and I held it all the way back to the top, but I didn't. It was the first trade of the day. I was just looking to put some money in my pocket. You can see we're up about $1,700–1,800 right now. And I just took the scalp off here for about 10 points, which is what I'm usually looking for. And coming back to this trade, we just took this short off this kind of hidden channel here. And I wanted to see if it would start forming more of a flag here. And so I identified this bottom area here, and I entered short right off. It was a little bit risky because it was kind of breaking, but again, these are areas, and you can see I only have 2 contracts now. Now that I'm up pretty well in the day, each one of these trades, like the first trade, I'm starting out with 4 or 5 contracts, and then I'm going down to 3 or 4, and then 2 or 3, and I'm taking a little bit off, every time I enter another trade. Because I don't want to get back all my profits on the day if this does rip down, which it could very easily do. So we'll just see how this plays out. It was a pretty quick trade. I don't think I quite got 10 points off this one. Ultimately, going into tech earnings this week, I'm a little bit more bullish than bearish on the overall market. So I don't have a problem taking this trade here because I do think that we're going to push higher. But again, anything can happen, and so if this really starts breaking down and closing below here, I'm ready to get out. And I'm about to take this trade off here. Don't want to get greedy. I ate 8 points, 9 points. I'm looking for 10, but I think I got 9 points out of that trade, but that was a pretty stress-free trade. And so I'm just going to back up just a little bit here. And so once we take this trade off, we've already tested this upper trend line here. Now it's kind of forming a flag pattern, and we've already tested this 1, 2, 3 times. So I'm not looking for a short. If I'm overall bullish on the market, on the 4th test, I'm looking for the breakout of this channel. And as it's squeezing tighter, it's going to break one way or the other. If I was bearish, then I would be looking for a push up here for one more short for the potential breakdown. But notice I'm not shorting here for the break of this channel. I'm buying off support. I'm shorting at resistance. This is going to give you the best risk reward every single time. So this trade, let's just see how it plays out. Hopefully I caught this whole trade here. But we entered here after the 3rd test. It's breaking that line again for the 4th. I anticipated it a little bit. But again, going into tech earnings, I think we will try to push back up towards the top. And at this point, again, I'm just looking for a quick scalp. I'm already up nice on the day, and I don't want to give back too many profits. Although I did take 4 contracts here, which I did not mean to do. I wanted to take 2, but I took 4, and I'm pretty confident in this after testing this 3 times and breaking above it that we're going to push back up into this area here. It's pretty high probability, and so I just kind of let this play out. And notice I just went long for the break out of this flag pattern. I chose to do it to the long side because I'm more bullish in the market right now. It's struggling a little bit here. I almost thought about taking this off. But just looking at the chart, I said, no, you know what, I'm going to leave it on. I think this is going to work out. And we'll see what happens. We're only up a couple points, but we do have 4 contracts, $80 a point. So, we're up a couple $100. And I'm also at this point, I'm a little bit concerned that we might come back and back test that flag line, channel line, whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking that if it pulls back and tests that, it's going to put me red on this now. And I don't think I want to go red on this in case it just dumps. Um, so I'm kind of being a little bit cautious with it. And that's about as close as we came to being red on that trade. We had a really good entry and, you know, protected ourselves really well. There was really very, very minimal risk on this trade. And you can see we're up, you know, what, $300 or something, $400. It's a nice little trade um, as it's pushing back up. And I don't think I caught the end of that trade, but I didn't. It did push back up here, and I didn't hold it all the way to the top. I just cut it right here at this channel here for about $400, and we finished up about $2,600 on the day. But that's it for today, guys. Sorry I haven't done a video in a while. We've been working on some things behind the scenes, some ideas for the channel. We did the first small account challenge, and what I decided to do was take some money that we made off that challenge and put it into a TD Ameritrade account so that we can work on slowly building long term as we build up this channel over the next couple of years, and as well put some of it into an account where we can trade some options on a small account. And I'll go into that in videos over the next week or two. We're going to be getting a lot more active again, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This just shows you how you can identify these channels and play in both ways. We played it short here for 10 points. We played it long here for about 10 points. And then we just took, you know, 5 or 6 points here for another scalp off this. All off this one pattern here. We got 3 good trades off of it, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. I hope everybody had a great day, and we will see you soon.